Hi, this is Professor Urrego, and I'm going to talk about my content module. I decided to use Chapter 1 of Intermediate Algebra, which is Linear Equations, Relations, and Functions. Our Chapter 1 module overview is going to tell us our learning outcomes. So by the end of this module, we should be able to solve linear equations, symbolically, graphically, and numerically, determine the slope of a line under various conditions, determine the slope-intercept form of a linear equation, given different data, solve a formula for a specified variable, construct and apply linear equations to real-life situations, determine if a relation is a function using different representations, evaluate and solve a function expressed verbally, numerically, and graphically, determine the domain and range of a given function, including any restrictions, and last but not least, recognize various families of functions, including linear, quadratic, polynomial, rational, and radical. So these are learning outcomes. We're going to achieve this by going through learning activities. So every student should go through all these sections, and a learning activity in this case is the lecture, is how they're being explained the lesson. So first one is 1.1 linear equations. This is the lecture, and here in the bottom, these are problems that are being solved step by step, and these are called Your Turn from the textbook from Magdala and Manuel. And at the end, you have the homework, which is solved in iMath AES. So this is the process that they're going to use for every single section of this chapter. The first section was 1.1 linear equations, then it goes slope of a line, and we'll have the same lecture, then problems, examples, and homework. Same thing 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. At the end, they'll have a chapter 1 review with problems and videos. These problems will be solved one step at a time. And again, these are the homeworks for every single section. At the end of the chapter, they will have a chapter 1 quiz. They will also have a lab. At the end of the module, you will work on a lab assignment where you can apply all the concepts of linear functions on a real-life situation. The idea is to understand and apply all the material from this module in real-life applications. So our goal is for them to see the connections between what they're learning and a real-life situation. I also explain to my students that if they want to see the modules, which is basically all the content for the chapter, they can hit modules on the left side. They can scroll down after our orientation module and get to chapter 1. And here they have all the chapter organized. And like I said before, at the end, they'll have a lab, linear functions, which is our first chapter. And that's our connection in real life to this chapter. Right now, I'm going to preview this so I can show you real quick what is this lab about. Okay, enrollment is booming. It's a lab assignment. Unlimited times to attempt this assignment. The idea is for them to understand the connections and to do well. So we're using a word problem, and we're going to ask them several questions regarding that word problem. Here is a video connecting and explaining again how they find the slope, just in case they're confused. Here's another question about the same problem, and another video to write an equation. Here's a question to write the equation, having the information from the word problem, and so on and so forth. So this is our real life connection to this topic. And that's how we're going to connect a real life expression or a real life problem to our first chapter. Okay, thank you very much.